What's up, guys? Welcome back to Scene Invaders. You normally know us as Scene Invaders Podcast, but tonight we bring you a special episode, and we are Scene Invaders 2 Electric Boogaloo. We could not stop talking about Deadpool and Wolverine in the group chat, so we decided to jump on here and make a video about it. We got to get some of this stuff off of our chest. We're not spoiling anything tonight, but we do have a lot to say. And we got Coach Dave back from vacation.
Howdy, everybody. Yeah, it's not the full setup, but hey, man, whatever works.
You got to do what you got to do, man. Deadpool and Wolverine's out, and we need to discuss it immediately.
Yeah.
And of course, Brad from Canada.
How's it going, eh?
So yeah, we just wanted to talk a little bit about Deadpool and Wolverine, and like I said, no spoilers here, but just get some discussion out, our feelings on it. When we do our regular podcast that should come out on Thursday, both audio and on our YouTube channel, Scene Invaders YouTube, subscribe. We are going to talk spoilers then. But for now, you guys are marked safe. And just a kind of an interesting lead up to this, I have been someone who's very much enjoyed most of the Marvel movies, but I was never really a comic reader. I was telling the guys earlier, like some of these characters when the movie started coming out, I had never even heard of before. I was like, are they making things up? I've literally never heard these names. So I am a casual fan. Brad is not a casual fan. And then I think Coach is like between us.
Fan.
And I think Coach is right here between us. So Brad, take us away on Deadpool and Wolverine and tell us what you thought about it.
26 years ago, I went and saw a movie that starred and it kind of bulldozed into X-Men, the rest, Punisher, various things. And these were not very highly rated Marvel movies, but it did open the door.
Yeah.
And 26 years later, I saw this movie, and it kind of played homage to everything that has come before. The MCU, the Fox, and everything. It was affirmation. It was bloody. I loved it. I freaking loved it. I'm a comic reader. I recognized everything that they did. I'm a comic movie watcher. I was in for all of it. And yes, Dave, I will bleep that part.
Okay.
So can you stop doing this? Because we said non-spoilers, and I will bleep that part.
Only if in the edit you use the Team America World Police and zoom into me going like this as the little puppets at the back of the.
Oh, don't worry.
I didn't even think about it, guys. So
I've got you all on film, so no, don't worry.
That's right.
And 26 years ago, for the record, was 1998. I can't really say enough good things about this beyond that it was so perfectly shot, perfectly written, perfectly displayed. Blood, guts. Are you worried about the Disney? Don't. It is Deadpool 3, and Wolverine is there too. Wolverine takes not center stage, he takes partial stage. So do a lot of other fantastic people that really belong in this movie. For me, it sounds so silly. Like I said, I saw Dolph Lundgren as the Punisher when they were afraid to put the skull on his chest. But he was Frank Castle, he was the Punisher. This is complete validation that every movie before, current, during, next, they all matter. I laughed. I cried. It became a part of me.
What's up, Coach? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I'll go. Oh, that's fine. It's funny. You experience this amazing event. All right. And that's what this is. This is an event.
It did feel like an event.
You look at the social medias and stuff like that. And then there's all these hot take people. And it's just like, look at me. I'm going to crap on this movie. And is it a good film? No, it's not a good film. It's not going to win an Oscar and be in the pantheon of art, but
it's not cinema, but it's
an
great entertainment.
Movie.
It's a movie.
It hits every single button. It hits every single thing. Just like Brad, I laughed, I cried, I sobbed afterwards, which we'll get into in a second. And I caught myself, in my chair, and this isn't really a spoiler, but there's a song that happens at the beginning that is by a boy band, and I am literally caught myself bouncing my head along with
choreography. Hell yeah!
Along with the choreography that really did not make any sense, but it was so good.
Oh, definitely. I agree.
And like I experienced this, I think on a little bit of a different level. Is I am a Marvel movie guy. I'm not a comic book guy like Brad. I've done my best to kind of stay with all the TV, and I think I've pretty much seen everything except for maybe some of the Miss Marvel TV show. Other than that, I've been in it. I've been on vacation this week, and I have been extremely sleep deprived. And halfway through this movie,
Dave's
I
hungover right
started
now.
experiencing it on a whole nother level of the amount of joy that the people had making this thing. There's this kind of perfect thing where when the artist meets the viewer, and it's just
It's
like
infectious.
it's the perfect storm. And I just found myself just streaming that. Like I always equate it, I cry all the time at like, anything sappy. But I always talk about the it's the Monsters Inc. Scenario of yes, they can generate a lot of energy from fear, but they get a whole lot from laughter. If you get to me where like there's a pure joy moment, I will just instantly well up. Like as a coach, it's like when you see, kids experiencing and achieving their goals, and you're just there like hold it together, hold it together. And that's kind of what this was at the end of it, where I was experiencing of like these guys just had an absolute blast. Yeah, they backed up the Brinks truck for Hugh Jackman. Every single thing you can just see of like, and cut, and he's just laughing at it.
Yeah.
And just having the time of his life. And that goes through every single person in this. I am more excited for the deleted, like how it was made, than for like the streaming rights to this thing.
Okay.
Oh, I will buy a Blu-ray player so I can buy the Blu-ray so I can get everything about this.
It's something that should come with like a wealth of special features.
Oh my god, this should be a 3-disc Blu-ray with like a little USB that comes with it, and maybe a book. You can only imagine all the wealth of 26 years worth of Marvel history, whether it be Fox, whether it be Disney, it doesn't matter. It all came together.
Sure.
And it came together very well. A great potluck. I would eat at that potluck.
You would enjoy that potluck.
Oh my god, yes.
But yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off of what Coach says. I thought this movie felt joyous. It felt like it was being made by people who absolutely love this, have spent the time to understand this, what's right about it, what's wrong about some things, reference those things, acknowledge those things, send those things up in a hilarious way. I thought this movie was hilarious. I worried about this being under the Disney banner, that it was going to be sanitized a bit. And I think that would have absolutely been the wrong decision. And this movie is far from sanitized, guys. That is not a concern here in any way, shape, or form. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm a casual fan of Marvel in general. I've seen 90% probably of the movies. There's like maybe a couple that I haven't seen, and then I've seen none of the TV shows. And other than Captain Marvel, I've really enjoyed to loved everything except Captain Marvel. That's the one that's like a weird oddity for me. That movie did not work for me. I didn't like that one at all. But yeah, I just thought this
You're not alone. You're not alone. When you have 1,000 movies,
yeah,
they're not all going to be hits.
Well, yeah, and I mean to have one that I truly just don't like and everything else I at least like to love, like, I mean, that's pretty fucking solid. Like, they're crafting great movies. And yeah, I've had a little bit of a burnout on superhero stuff in general, and really more specifically Marvel, I would say. Like I said, I've enjoyed it, but it does start to feel a little bit samey to me at times. And this just felt like such a breath of fresh air, because Deadpool is so different than what you normally get from Marvel. I mean, it's a very adult property. There's bad language. It's ultra violent. And it's just so silly and irreverent and so much fun. And as I sat there and watched this, I definitely thought about Brad a ton. I was like, oh, Brad's gonna love this. Oh, Brad's gonna love this.
And as I wear my Wolverine t-shirt to these movies, yes, I did. And they didn't even have to scan my ticket. They said, just go. I'm like, all right,
but as a casual fan, even like I caught a lot of stuff that they were doing, but I think for people who are more immersed in Marvel in general, both movie or comic book wise, I think there is just a treasure trove of stuff here to discover. And I would never dream of spoiling that for anyone,
No.
because that is the kind of stuff that you want to go in and discover on your own. And I've seen a lot of stuff or talk online where people are maybe inadvertently or maybe on purpose spoiling things for people. And I'm on the record that I think that's fucked up, guys.
No.
You should not do
You
that.
know what?
But
Listen, okay, there is so much to spoil. Like there is
yeah, facts.
2 hours worth of very easily spoilable material from cameos. Everyone's gonna go see it.
Yeah, I
People
agree.
have
Give it a
gone
week, guys. Like,
seen it.
just need a
People
week.
have gone seen it. We're gonna do spoilers like 6 or 7 days.
Yeah, a few days.
But
We'll
next
they'll let
days
you
for
know
people.
very in advance that it's spoiled, and you can
Oh, of
skip it
course.
if you're not ready yet.
But
So
you know, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. This is as light and fluffy and violent and fun as it is. It is dense.
yeah,
It
and it
is
has a lot of
very
heart too.
dense with the lore, with everything. You don't have to read the comics to enjoy it. Doesn't hurt. This is my second favorite movie of all time.
Okay.
That's a hell of
Because
a statement. That's
because
big, for sure.
of the reverence, because of the time I have put in with this. I was
For the
such
record.
a fan of the X-Men that my friend and I, Rob, went and seen X-Men. And when the title card popped up, X-Men, I cried because I was validated as a young man that got mocked, humiliated, made fun of, mocked, and made to eat lunch alone. Still hurts because I like the X-Men, and to see
And people
masses
love it and
show
care
up,
about it. Yeah.
and then people talking about, well, you know, Wolverine. I guess there was this Weapon X program. Well, let me tell you, actually, there was a Weapon X program, and I educated friends and who realized, oh wow, Brad knows a lot about this stuff. It turned the nerd cool, which is all any nerd ever wanted, because all you ever wanted was to talk about this with friends. Now San Diego Comic-Con is going on, and they are turning celebrities away. This didn't happen 26, 27 years ago.
I mean, there have been big superhero films and like franchises to an extent, but Marvel is what has established itself as the most mainstream, the most, and I don't mean this in a bad way, like the most consumer friendly showing of comic book anything of all time, really ever. I mean, look at the money this stuff brings in. Yeah, maybe it's been in a little bit of a slump in the past couple of years or whatever, but again, I think this movie kind of is out there to sort of set that straight again. I don't think it necessarily 100% does that, because there's a lot of unknown ahead of us, I think, with Marvel and the MCU and all that kind of stuff, but it's certainly attempting to. It's really trying to say, hey, in a lot of ways, like, we know we fucked up about some things, but just give us a chance again, kind
We're
of.
still-
But I think in the best way.
we're still here.
They're doing it in the best way. Hell yeah.
Dave, what
This
do
is
you think?
definitely,
You were talking about how you got very emotional for like some certain things. Like what really what pulled that? I got emotional too. I cried like hell.
And you don't have to be specific, but like, what was it?
No, you do.
No,
Your emotions.
it was the overall event of it. It was being in the theater with more than 5 people
Yeah.
and having the waves of laughter. There was a guy who just had a terrible laugh, and then the people laughing at the laugh. And it was just like waves that would go through. Somebody would recognize something and laugh out loud, and then everybody else would kind of join in.
Sure.
And it was
very
like,
my experience.
yeah, it's a return to the theater going experience, which I think we miss so much. It gives you permission to laugh at things that you wouldn't laugh at, or experience something different. So, like, again, to me, it was the whole experience of watching actors who are just having a blast, watching people around me have a blast. I'm having a good time. It's the culmination of all of that. That was what just kept hitting me. At my little theater, they did screenings of like Animal House, and everybody was kind of worried, how it was, going to be taken. And yeah, and it was like a 95% full house, and like everybody's puckered like a snare drum, and like all of a sudden, like,
waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yeah, just laughs, and then it's like, oh, we're allowed to do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There is
And
such a
that's
thing as, I think, theater camaraderie. Like, if you're
yes.
seeing the right thing, you have the right people around you, and especially, I think, like, opening weekend for this, if you're going out on opening weekend for this and you're fighting these crowds and you're, like, trying to get tickets to, like, mostly sold out theaters everywhere for that feeling in the room, like, as a whole, like a shared communal experience.
You guys went and seen this Thursday night. How busy was it?
Probably 60% capacity.
Jeff?
So for me, I would
Mhm.
say probably about 60% full on that as well. And this was 4 o'clock on a Thursday.
I went and seen it today at noon on a Friday. There was 100% capacity.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's such a good feeling, man.
Every seat was taken.
But-
Everybody was having a great time. I made friends to the left of me, friends to the right of me, because we were all just laughing and smiling. It was just,
Yeah,
you know what
they
that's
were
from.
stuck in
I'm
the
like,
middle
yes, I
with
do.
Did you go by yourself, Brad?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay, same. Yeah.
Totally. No, I
What
go
about
to
you,
the thea-
Coach? You went by
I
yourself?
go to the theater myself because I don't want to be bothered by people. And I want and I go on to make new friends.
I went by myself and I did my my handicap companion trick.
Oh,
Where
there it is. Okay.
where those seats are always open. Now, granted,
Yeah.
if someone who is in need,
Of course.
I would
You're gonna
gladly
move.
give it
I've
up.
never seen anyone like it personally, and I go to the movies a lot. I never see anybody take those seats, like, or
But
at least
they
a
actually
handicapped
happen to
person.
be in like the best parts of the of the theater.
Well, can I say with great confidence that your little scheme there, Deadpool approves. Now,
Oh, wow.
is this going to save the Marvel universe?
Is
Go ahead.
he Marvel Jesus?
For some, yes.
What Deadpool is a cut through the BS.
Yeah.
He is the one who says what we want to say. Well,
And acknowledges the things that it's
I
maybe
like
sometimes
this. I
uncomfortable to
didn't like
acknowledge.
this. Why did they do this? This part was cool. That part was not. And in this movie, they really cut out all the BS and they say, yeah, you know what? It has not been good. Let's make it good. That part was great. Let's take that. That character was cool. Let's take that. We'll take this. We'll take this. And you all mash it into one fantastic freaking movie.
This is a sorbet in more ways than one. It is
Yeah.
a palate cleanser.
It really is.
Yes,
It is,
that's a great way to put it.
We can go anywhere after this. We have cleared the table. We have paid for our sins.
Well, there are people going to just absolutely hate this just simply because it's Marvel or simply because
Or
it's popular
hot takes.
or
Yeah,
the
that's
hot take people. And
Yeah, go nuts. There is something for everybody in this movie.
is there a place for Deadpool in the proper MCU?
In the same way that the MCU is in his, he is a cameo. He is a here's your pizza, sir. Like if he shows up,
he's a show up, F shit up.
He's a fun surprise.
He's a MacGuffin. He will be shown when he is needed.
Yeah, he'll be there.
And
for
I look
comedic
forward
levity.
to it.
So, what are numbers on this movie?
7.9.
I'm going to go with an 8.2 on this one.
It's a 9.8. It's the best of the best for me. Like,
yeah,
Nicked.
Yeah, no, it's a delight.
Experience this amazing event.